Got right there is several more rows of sweet corn. This is where the potatoes grew at. So we'll get out there and take a little look here in a second. Hang on one second. Walk through here and knock out a few weeds trying to come up in between the corn here. Corn's not been planted very long. It's already coming up pretty good. Got one little shower of rain on it. It don't take long for the little grass seeds to start trying to claim their turf. But if you get these little weeds when they start coming up, oh, it's nothing. And if a person would walk through here every other day, you could weed your garden. Well, in no time. But I don't care what kind of soil you've got, you're going to have a few weeds come up in it. Some of them are better off to pull up if they've got any roots established. Because if you cut them off the top of the ground, they'll just more than likely come right back. Not all of them, but a lot of them will. All right. looks to me like that we've got a pretty good stand of corn here. If I'm not mistaken, this corn is it's a line super sweet corn. I think it was developed by a man in Illinois. Now, I've read some reviews on it. And the reviews weren't too good. They said a lot of them said that it was so sweet that you couldn't keep the bugs off of it. Well, that sounds pretty good to me, because that's the purpose of growing sweet corn. Because it's sweet. There's a volunteer sweet pea trying to come out. That's about all they are to weeding the corn. Zoom in here and see if I can't give you a little better picture. A lot of the people was talking about the corn, this Illini super sweet corn, not germinating good. You know, I don't know how it's going to grow, but I can tell you right now that it germinated. You couldn't ask for no better. So, you know, someone's had bad luck. Either that or I've had good luck. Asparagus out there is looking good. Now these is the big giant zinnias, California giants. I'm going to pan right over here. I'm going to get an old one that's, there's no need to pick a good one that's fresh, so I want to show you something here. Now these are the ones that I ordered, the California zinnias, and these are just the regular zinnias. They're supposed to be big zinnias, and they are pretty big. And, well, you can see they are bigger, quite a bit bigger. I'll have to give them credit. They're bigger. And they're just now blooming out good, so we'll give them the benefit of a doubt. Those tomato plants is growing quite a bit. Let's jump over there and take a look. So we got some Swiss chard out there in the center. Spin around this way while we're here. Got some borage out there on the right in the far corner of the garden. And we've got a little patch of weeds right there in the center that's got to come out. They're causing the beets to compete. But anyway, we got some beets actually to be took out. Got some eggplants, a couple plants there, and 3 or 4 behind the wisteria. Out above the little weed patch to the right is some okra. We'll go around through there and check her out. Let's go over here and look at the tomatoes. We've got a row of tomatoes, and I've drove in some tobacco sticks out through there. Had intentions of tying them up, and have just not got to it. But anyway, the ones on the right, the tallest tomatoes, it looks like a jungle through there, but actually those are tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes. See if I can get a shot. See if there's some blooms on there. Oh, there's some blooms on there. It'd be hard to see. Few tomatoes in there. Again, they may be hard to see too, but they're in there. None ripe yet. None ripe. But they're in there. I'm gonna step in there and give you an idea of how tall those tomato plants are. Now they're over my head, and I'm 6 foot tall. Now these are a beefsteak. Actually, when I ordered them, they were Kentucky. I think their name was Kentucky beefsteak. They supposedly it originated in the eastern part of Kentucky. They're an heirloom. We'll walk down here and take a closer look. Now this is the corn patch that I planted with a little corn planter, and you can see we've got all of it pulled up. Let me spin around here. You can see that's a pretty hefty little stack of corn shucks there, and you can see the grass, weeds, and lettuce. A lot of that's lettuce that we pulled up. We got this ready to run through a chipper. Beans on the left, still hanging full of beans. Lots of beans. 2 rows of beans actually through there. We picked several bushel off, and I'm sure there'll be several bushel more. Now those beans, I want to go over here and show you something. Those beans, that pecan tree right there in the center of the screen, last year growed up a bean vine in that tree. And I wasn't paying any attention or never even thought about what was fixing to happen. And these beans that I've got here are Vortex beans. They were Vortex beans. But that bean evidently had crossed. And earlier in one of the videos I had mentioned that these beans this year are putting on fuchsia blooms and white blooms. And you know, I just kindly laughed it off, but in reality I knowed something was wrong. So let's go over here and we'll check it out and see what's wrong. Okay, right here is an example of what I'm talking about. You can see fuchsia bloom color, and right here's a white one. Let me pull this off, and I'll pull this one off. Not that one, I've dropped it. Let's get this one. Well, I'll pick it up if I can. Okay. You can see the difference right there of the beans, blooms, that is. And one white and one fuchsia. Now I'll show you the difference in the beans. Let me find a Vortex bean. Both of these is mature. I'm going to lay these on this chair. Now there's no need to lay it in the chair. I'll lay it in my hand. There's the one on the right's a Vortex, and the other one is a cross. If I'm not mistaken, I think that one's got a black seed in it. I'll show you, but you can see the difference in them right there. Okay. Smell a skunk out here today. Okay. This is the bean that evidently growed up the tree. And what we're going to do is we're going to open it up and I'll show you the inside. This is what can happen if you think stuff won't cross-pollinate. And exactly where I saved my seed from those beans that I thought were Vortex was right out there at the far end here, where this bean had grown up a tree. And they're the purple looking beans, and the Vortex, let's see what they look like inside. Look here. See, they're kind of purple too. I'm not going to, well, might as well get them all out. So, the Vortex had 2, 4, 6, 9 beans in it. And this other little critter here had 4 in it. 4. Now, I've got to do one more thing. Those beans are almost mature. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna shut this camera off a second. I'm gonna go get two freshest ones I can find. This is, you can tell, is a little fresher, a little younger. And what I was gonna show you is this bean, Vortex, which is a cross, mind you. No string whatsoever, no string. And this, no problem whatsoever. This little bean also is no string. But the point is, here's the difference. You know, here's the difference. In two beans, I'll take these seeds, put in a hand here, and I'll rake these seeds in this hand. Now, you can see the difference. Basically, two beans right here, two beans. So naturally, the Vortex is my choice of beans. It's getting hot. Okay. Let's get back over here to the tomatoes. I don't know how I got on the beans. Let's go check the tomatoes out. Might be able to see a few tomatoes in there. I'll leave this zoomed in. For a second. Now these tomatoes, that's a 4-foot tobacco stake right there. Probably out of the ground 3.5 foot, I'm gonna say. Maybe 4. And you can see them tomatoes is reaching for the sky there. Something else. You know, they're big plants. They're not overly loaded with tomatoes so far. But now there's a lot of bloom at the top. A lot of bloom at the top. Let's walk down on that far end down there. See a couple of pretty good tomatoes there. Big old tomatoes, they're heirloom. The only reason I'm growing these this year is to get seed. And I'm going to do my best to save seed off the first ripe tomato that comes out of this. Okay, let's go look at a tomato that didn't make it. Okay, right here's the end tomato. That's the end tomato. There's a cage that the tomato didn't even make it. It died. I didn't get it replaced, but the other one's coming over, taking its place. So these things must, no doubt, are indeterminate. Now here's a plant that it ain't gonna make it either. It's got a few tomatoes down there, but no good. There's another tomato cage that didn't make it. It didn't make it. And Big old tomatoes. There's a little short row of Swiss chard. You can see the garden, it gets quite hairy looking this time of year. I'm standing basically in the middle, and I'll just spin around 360 degrees. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. And a few weeds. Okay, right back to where we started. Blue skies. That's the sprinkler head. Reserved. For if I do need to give it a little shot of water. See the peaches through there. Peach trees, no peaches. The frost this spring took care of the peaches around here. But that's alright. There was plenty last year. A few eggplants right in there. Suppose you can see the little critters. Watermelons. Watermelons. Bunches of watermelons out there. You can see them out there under the trees. A watermelon patch. Lots of beets. Let's see if there's any beets in there. Should be plenty of beets. And here's a beet. And here's a beet. And here's a beet. Here's a beet. And that left some beets. And a weed. Look that weed come out rooting off. I mean, there's lots of beets here. And I've never thinned them. They don't need thinning. I don't want to let that beet leaf get in that electric fence or it'll light me up. I mean, it's time to harvest some beets. There's a little one. But you can see here the beets. Right there. Quite a few beets, good beets, big beets. I'm gonna go right over here and I won't make you drunk. And I've got some beets in there, somewhere in there. Let's go see if we can't find one. Oh, they're in there somewhere. These yellow beets. They've had plenty of shade. I just planted these. They're good. And they're good beets too. But they're ready to come out. And behind on the beets. You can see here. Pretty good sized beets. Lay them down with these others here and you'll see the difference. One's on the left is like a yellow beet. You can cut them, they won't sting you. The red ones, they like to bleed. But again, there's a lot of beets row all the way out through there. I need to be getting in shortly. I'll show you the harvest when we get them in. Get them all up. But they're good beets. Make a lot of juice out of them. Okay, see if I can't show you that watermelon over there. Maybe one of them. It's growing. It was just a little critter the other day. I think maybe you can see it there. Go a little closer. Okay. There's the little booger. I mean, there's several out in there. I've not dug out in there after them or anything. You can see that thing it don't seem like it was a week ago and it wasn't big as your fist. I have to show you my figs. If you see any figs coming on there. This plant's 2 years old. This second year. And it's done pretty good. Now that's all growed this year. That died down. That last little frost done it in. But all those figs have grown from the ground, from the root this year. So if you've got a fig and it frost was to kill it to the ground, don't worry too much because they're pretty prolific. look at the blueberries. They're about gone. There's still several on there, but I don't know how many we picked. Several. Several blueberries. Several. I'm gonna eat them. Sweet as sugar. All right, that is it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.